Today we'll be looking at GitHub repo SKF Labs. Why I choose this repo? Because in this repo every vulnerability for a web application is listed, and you know they give us the Docker image to run it and test it and to learn from it. So we'll be starting our source code and dynamic analysis from this video, and we'll try to see how to debug and try to find out the vulnerabilities by looking at the source code. So we'll start from the this folder auth bypass one. We'll try to see how we can run it and how we can find a vulnerability by debugging and looking at the source code. So we will be looking on the both things, source code and dynamic analysis. I'm going to tell you that how to install it. That's you people are intelligent to Google it and install it. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be telling you to how to run the application in a debugging mode. So I got this VS Code installed on my system, and the Flask and every requirement is installed. So now let's debug this in Visual Studio Code and try to see how it goes. So the first thing, we go to the debug tab and run debug. Okay, so it will show you the debug configuration. We'll move to Flask. Okay, and we will replace this name with our original script. In this case it's login.py. As you can see, the main router and every information for the function is written in this. So yes, we'll do that. So it will start this in debugger mode. Now let's see what we got on the browser and try to see whether it works. So this is the URL. I copy this, then I move to this, and let's see. Okay, the application runs successfully, and let's see how we do it, how we do the source code and dynamic analysis. In the analysis, we should map our the route, the path of and the input of an application to its code. So the first thing we are going to do is that source code analysis. So the app.route is a path, and on that path this function will get executed, and this file, the HTML file, will be served. So this is the basic way of doing things in the Flask. But right now we are not going to learn about the Flask. So we are just going to guess a few things about the inputs and how it is being processed by the code. So basically we are doing source code analysis. So when we do login, it is going to ask the db access. Okay, so the values SQL I.get request form. So it will from the HTML form it will get the username, if values. Okay, so we have to find a way to log in as a admin. Okay, the username, values. Okay, so the SQLi function is getting the that username from the database and putting this in the username. Okay, if the value 1 is equal to request password HTML logged in. Okay, so this is just a basic function to get the username and the password from the database, from the form and database, and then match it with each other, and then giving you the what you call the logged in page. Then the second one is very important, how it's setting the cookie. The session ID is being set with the username and in SHA1 form. So it's a very weak the developer is setting the the cookie in a very not a very secure manner. So okay, then it is returned. Okay, so that's the thing. The register one is a simple one. It's going to show you the register.html page and give you the option to register. The second is that app root logged in. Okay, you have to logged in first, find the way to log in. Okay, so if the user is logged in, okay, the session ID is fetched. Okay, there is a query to the, okay, so with that hash the database is queried here, and okay, so the username is fetched from, okay, so what happens, what is happening in this code is that session ID cookie from the user is stored in hash. Then with the hash the username and password are fetched. I mean the SQLi is fetching that username and password where the hash is this one. Okay, that's the, and it is being stored in the username. So if the username is admin, message congratulations. So okay, let me read the next code. Okay, we will come to this part later on, but let me read the next code. Okay, it's a simple one. Okay, nothing, create username. If username is admin, your password has not is equal to admin. Okay, if username pwd, okay, values SQLi get user if values. Okay, so you can't I mean, you check this line, you cannot create a username admin. Okay, user not equals to admin, else nice try. Okay, so you can't I mean the first thing, I mean first loophole which I was thinking that you can use as admin and then can get the access. No, there is a check over here. Okay, okay, so this part is quite important, the session ID. Okay, so what I think is that one loophole is that if we can the session ID of the cookie can be changed in a HTTP request. So and if we pass like admin, we like for admin the SHA1 is can be easily calculated. So if we pass the SHA1 of admin to this function, okay, so it will fetch that username and password from the database. So we'll do it, but first we have to register as a user. So we'll first log in, try to register a username. I have registered as a username dummy and password dummy. You can also do this by clicking here. So now we will see that how to debug the application and try to know the different variables which are going through the scope. So I'll put a breakpoint on this and try to log in and see if the breakpoint is hit or not. So I'll put my password dummy and dummy. Let's see. Okay, so the breakpoint is hit. So let's move through the code one by one step at a time. Okay, so this will go to in the module of SQLi model. So we will put one more breakpoint here and press the continue button. Okay, so here we see different values. Let me, okay, username is not right now currently not in scope, so we'll go one step more. Okay, now the username is dummy. Okay, we can see that the dummy is in the values, and we can press the button and we will be logged in as dummy. So here we can see on the browser we are logged in as dummy. So the hack is that we are going to do is that we're gonna intercept an HTTP request, then we will change the username with the admin SHA1 hash, then we'll know the password. So let's do it. We are going to do that is that we are going to intercept the HTTP request, and okay, so let's do it. Dummy and submit button. Okay, the breakpoint is it, but we are more interested in this. Okay, I'll copy as a curl. Okay, I'll open a new file, I'll paste it and try to see what's the cookie value. Okay, so cookie value has not been put by the server yet, so we'll make sure that it will press the continue button of the debugger. Okay, now we are logged in as dummy. So now we'll try to intercept the HTTP. Okay, so we are in the login. Okay, so the next is login this time. Okay, this is the second login. We'll try to see if it has got the cookie value. Okay, now we are having this value, so I'll copy this as curl, delete this one and put this one. Okay, so the session ID is 82. So we'll try to calculate the hash of the admin, and I'll open my Python console. Okay, so I'll not write a separate code. I'll try to imitate the same methodology. Import hashlib. Okay, I'll copy this line and sorry UTF. I don't need to delete this thing. I need to delete, although I can delete this one, admin. Okay, is there hex digest? Am I doing something wrong? Let me see. Everything is okay. So this one is extra. So this one is okay. I'll copy this one and put in this request. Now I'll copy this request and it will hit our breakpoint. Let me exit this one. Okay, so the breakpoint has been hit. Username, hello step 1. Let's okay, I did one mistake. The condition are checked here, so I should move to this one. Let me just go to this path. Logged in. Oh, now the thing is there. Okay, so username is dummy. Why it's dummy? Okay, so now this point is it. Okay, so we need to change the path also. So I have to go here and change the path also. Let me do it. Logged in. Okay, now we'll see. Okay, so the admin. Okay, so we'll put a breakpoint here. So now we can see there's two values. Copy, we're gonna copy the values. So now we are logged in as admin, and since the values list contains also the password, so we got the admin password. So we'll paste it here. Okay, and we will remove the breakpoints. And okay, now we got the password. We will log out. Now admin, and we'll copy that password. Now we are logged in as admin. So that was the challenge, and that's how we do the normal source code and dynamic analysis. So I'll be doing many videos on this lab, and we'll be doing fuzzing and source code and dynamic analysis. So stay tuned, and